The month of May here in Indiana, nothing better than being out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, whether it's practice, qualifying, and then, of course, the race itself. I'm excited to be talking now with it's the 2023 Indianapolis 500 Milkmen. We have dairy farmers Kerry, Estes, and Alex Neuenschwander. Fellas, how excited are you for this month?
I'm pumped. Absolutely through the roof excited. Can't wait.
This is kind of your Super Bowl, though, isn't it? I mean, this is something that I think for a lot of dairy farmers, you feel like you've made it. If you get a hand off, that bottle of milk, you've made it.
It's the ultimate stage. It really is for dairy farmers to have milk as the iconic trophy that's handed to the winning driver. You just can't beat it.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because there's so many hardworking Indiana dairy farm families that we get to represent. And being in winner's circle with a nutritious drink like milk, yeah, like Kerry said, you cannot beat that. That is hands down the most exciting thing about the race for me.
Absolutely. So we see, obviously, there in Victory Circle, there's the milk, the drivers, they pour it on themselves, they chug it. It really is. It's that ultimate trophy around the world. There's nothing better than that bottle of milk with the Indy 500. For those that don't understand where that tradition came about, why is it milk, guys?
Well, the 1930s, actually 1936, Louis Meyer won his second race, and he was photographed taking a great big chug out of a glass bottle filled with buttermilk. His mom sent it for him to quench him on a hot day. Well, that picture has lasted over a century, or nearly a century, excuse me. And so now it's 2% whole and fat-free milk that's offered to drivers at the end of the race. And it's just a tradition that has stuck. It's epic and voted the coolest trophy in sports.
Easily. Alex, I can't imagine if it was ever to be removed. And was it Fittipaldi that was the moron that decided one year to have orange juice? I can't imagine not having the race without milk,
Yeah, no doubt. Shame on him. But you know what? Yeah, we're gonna take our ice cold milk into the victory circle this year, and Kerry's gonna hand it off to the winner. And I'm confident that they're gonna the Indy 500 is so full of tradition, and this is definitely one of the coolest ones. And people love tradition. They were furious whenever Fittipaldi went with orange juice. So yeah, we're gonna go into victory circle with our milk and hand it off to the winning driver. So excited about that.
Guys, talk about how your day will start then on race day. What does that look like?
Well, it's pretty exciting. So we'll stay actually downtown Indianapolis, and we get a police escort into the track. Got to make sure that milk makes it into the track. As important as we think we might be, the milk is actually the star of the show. So we have to make sure that it gets there on time and is protected. It's safe and kept on ice so that it's ready at the end. We'll also be doing several different media interviews where we get to talk to the public about dairy farming, about this great tradition, about all the things that we do for our cows to make them comfortable and how much we care for our cows, what we do to be good stewards of our environment, the soil, our water, our air, and all the things that we try to implement on each of our farms. Alex and I have two very different farms, but on these farms, we both try to implement these things to the greatest degree possible. And so we try to share that message to consumers and people out there that want to know. They want to believe in dairy farmers, but they just want to know. They want to hear it straight from a real dairy farmer. So that's what we're there for.
Alex, this comes up every year, and I always find it amusing. You mentioned that the drivers have their choice in milk, but they have been yet to be given the choice chocolate milk. Is this the year that's going to change?
You know what? We're going to stick with white milk. Like Kerry said, we have whole, we have 2%, we have skim milk. That's their tradition, right? So again, the Indy 500 is all about tradition, and we're going to stick with the white milk. I do like chocolate milk too, but hey, we're gonna stick with tradition.
There's something about that. There's something about that white milk splashing down, and even Elio, was it last year, or the year before, he got cute and did pink milk. And I know the folks of the American Dairy Association, Indiana, it was that moment of
Well, you know what? He won the race. He was given a bottle of real white milk. And so what he did with it afterward was his choice. And I see why he did it. But yeah, we love seeing that white milk just roll off the faces of these drivers and them chugging that. It's just nothing better.
Definitely. Alex, as far as the Indy 500, when you were younger or even just most recently, what's a great memory for
Man,
you?
yeah.
Whether it's drivers or traditions, or what comes to mind for you?
Yeah, so my earliest memories of the Indy 500 are you know what, as a little boy, going to church and then coming home and going to my grandpa's house and watching the rest of the race. That's my earliest memories. More recently here, and the reason I'm even doing this is I brought my sons to it here a couple of years ago, and we were sitting right at the start line, and they started up the cars, and you could feel all the I mean, it is so loud, you can feel it in your chest. And they were like, my son was like, "Dad, you gotta be the one to hand off the milk." So you know what, I signed up. I was fortunate enough to be chosen by fellow dairy farmers, and here we are. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Super excited for the opportunity to represent dairy farmers in such a huge stage.
No kidding. And in your kids' eyes, then you're a rock star, right? I mean,
I'm a rock star, man. Yeah,
doesn't get better than that. It's a mic drop moment for you, Alex.
that's right.
Kerry, what about you though? When you think of the 500?
Oh yeah, so very similar to Alex actually. I would listen to it on the radio on the way home from church, and then I would always watch the race later on that evening. It would air, and you know, of course, I knew the outcome at that time, but I would love to watch it. But I was able to go 2 years ago to my first race, and I'll tell you what, I am addicted. It is awesome. I mean, there is so much there; it's almost overwhelming. All they do to honor our military. All the history of the race, the back home again in Indiana. I mean, it's just incredible. The flyover, it's all so neat. But then it all culminates into that last moment where that driver gets that bottle of milk.
Most definitely, most definitely. And Kerry, it's funny when you mentioned the flyover, the playing of taps. There are moments to when you can hear a pin drop. And we're talking, what, 300,000 people there at IMS, and it really is chilling. And I tear up every time. It is one of the greatest lead ups to that event, to an athletic or a sporting event.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is.
Gentlemen, I raise my glass of milk to you both, to our dairy farmers throughout the state of Indiana. Wishing you both great success. I know you guys are going to be awesome at not only representing the Dairy Association, but helping to make this one of the greatest races in Indy 500 history. It's been a real pleasure talking to you both.
You too,
Thank
Greg.
you so much for having us. Greg, just remember, winners drink milk.
Winners drink milk.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.